here. Yes, sir. Y'all think I'm ready? I didn't think so. Today I'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 1 of Rings of Power. Let's just say I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Starting out, we got Sauron. Sauron is just pretty much trying to sell the orcs on following him and going along with his plan. But right off the bat, we can tell that they're clearly not agreeing with him. We have the one orc that tries to stab him. He handled him with the swiftness. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. It kind of reminded me of when Kingpin lost it and was bashing dude head in on Daredevil. The sequence of events that led after that, I ain't gonna lie to you, caught me completely by surprise. I had thought that he made his point very clear, you know, because for me at least, he would have made it very, very clear, but apparently not. Adar takes the crown and flips it over, stabs him in the upper back. I said, damn. So y'all really not messing with him. They jumped the hell out of this man. I mean, they stabbed him to kingdom come. I could never imagine that for myself. But sure enough, they killed him. Or at least they thought they killed him. We see that after Adar had convincingly told them to not continue, even though one of them did, we see that give him a couple kicks just to check and make sure that body, you know what I'm saying, is done. And next thing you know, you see a big ray of light shoot out from his face. We see he has now covered the land in ice. So I'm unfamiliar, of course, with a lot of the lore, but he has ice powers. I'm learning along the way. But we get to see that basically it turned into like some type of black goo or black blood, took shape, took form, and then it looked like some type of symbiote. The way that it grabbed the rat and then started to, you know what I'm saying, obviously eat it and everything like that. Didn't know the entire time that was Sauron. Sauron was trying to reform back. But get some venomous moments. The thought that he would ever decide to catch a woman lacking and seemingly kill her never crossed my mind. I didn't know where we was going with this. Actually, I thought that he was going to go back up to the orcs and destroy them. This whole sequence of events that had taken place right after they had seemingly killed Sauron, they show us how it led to the part in Season 1 where Galadriel runs into him in the water. We see the process that it took for him to get there. I think it was a nice touch. Was it completely needed? I'm not too sure. But it was fine for just giving us a little bit more of his personality. Clearly this season is going to be heavy Sauron season. Learning a little bit more about the character is always good. I just hope that they're not really trying to go with some type of redeeming model. After running into Diarmid and being convinced to follow them along the boat, we see that he's looking at the heraldry. That is where we got it in Season 1. So we see that he actually got it from Diarmid. And whenever he gets on a boat, part of me was naive enough to believe that he was being convinced to change his ways and begin anew. But once it became quite clear of the incident where they're on the boat, the sea dragon or sea beast, whatever you call it, attacks the boat. He takes the heraldry from him, and then he seems to gain control over the beast. I was just like, yeah, this dude is nowhere near going to change. But then it's made perfectly clear that this is all chess, no checkers. And within the first 20 minutes, you get a better understanding of, in a way, where he's coming from. Obviously, there's going to be more throughout the season, at least I hope so, that we delve more into his character. But for right now, the first 20 minutes where we get the journey that it took for him to meet Galadriel wasn't an easy one, but he persevered and got through it. Starting out, we see that Galadriel is chasing Elrond for the 3 rings that she had gained. He is heading back to the High King Gil-galad. When I first saw this, I was thinking to myself like, okay, maybe they're having fun. Not processing, obviously, until we see that she's actually reaching for the pouch that, oh no, she's chasing him. I thought they were just over there just going on a good stroll, maybe racing. But no, she is completely chasing after him. He shakes her, loses her on the trail when she goes to reach for the pouch. After she is summoned to the High King and He does this process of elimination, pretty much trying to figure out what is the crucial part of this entire situation, which is i.e. the rings. We see that Elrond has decided to go take a stroll off the side of the cliff and jump into the water to escape, which I did not see that coming. I understood that he had a high disregard for giving up the rings because, as we understand from his point of view, this could lead to giving the power that Sauron wanted, which I believe is going to end up being true. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it outside of maybe Sauron is the one that convinces Brimbor of making more rings. Throughout this episode, we did jump a lot, which in my opinion did affect the pacing for me. At times we were locked in on one scene, the next thing you know we're in a completely different new location. I don't mind per se seeing the world that they build, but I imagine with doing a TV show, they would have more time to just be in one spot. We kind of did cut and cut and cut and cut. At least I don't know if it's just me. I just noticed that throughout the entire time. Like, man, we're here for a short amount of time, then we're off to the next spot, off to the next spot. And they did the best that they could to make it all flow together. But I would say that hopefully episode 2 does not have that many jump cuts, but we'll see. We move back to the Southlands and we see this is where Sauron's plan to pretty much play chess against these checker players has really took off. Not only was he cunning enough to come back to the Southlands, where he knew that since he shapeshifted and changed his form, he was able to be undetected. They clearly didn't know that it was him that they just had got done killing, but he was able to move in and instill enough fear and tension. His plan of going to the elves and trying to get them or basically gain access to knowing where Sauron is at, it was brilliant, I believe. The fact that he was able to instill fear into Adar, and we know that he is going to eventually be gathering his forces to go and defeat this Sauron, and the whole entire time that was him, I think that was excellent. Waldrick was a scumbag. You know, he stood there and watched Skinny Lad get killed. Then he watched the old prisoner get branded. And I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, you know, saying this dude is completely sold out. Obviously, we got the beginning of it in last season, but episode 1 was in full flesh. And his death at the end of all of this, I think, was icing on the cake. We see that he clearly was abusive. He beat the hell out of Sauron. Now, in my opinion, knowing what we know, he deserved every last hit that he got. But the nature of him working with the orcs, you can clearly tell that it corrupted him. And I thought it was just hilarious that the wolf thing, looked like a damn wolf, decided to go on ahead and help himself to a nice meal. Charlie Vickers so far has played this role masterfully. I'm not too familiar with everything that he has done in his career as an actor, but I think if he continues to impress me, I may start tuning in to some of his other work in the near future. Moving on with Nori and the Stranger. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this part of the episode, I couldn't really, and maybe this is harsh, I couldn't really care for it. She's just not an interesting character to me, not yet. Pay as close of attention to her as possible just to get a feel for the character more. She didn't win me over in the first season, so I'm hoping that by the end of the second season she does. But this whole sequence of being lost and then having to sing the walking song to get free and then Poppy showing up, I just didn't really care for it. It was all right. I wasn't completely entertained, but I felt like there was obviously other stronger points within the episode that caught my attention the most. We finally meet up with Elrond and runs into one of the oldest ancient elves that is still alive, and we see that he has convinced him to take the rings and get rid of them. But later on, towards the end of the episode, we find out that when he went to go and try to throw them into the water, some force did not allow for him to do so. And after touching the rings, something about it had obviously spoke to him, because when he came back to the High King, he returned with the rings. And we clearly see that Elrond is not feeling this. I don't know what direction they're going with Elrond. Is he going into a dark? Will he side against the rest and start working with Sauron? Or how does he play a part in this? Does he leave? Does he go with the trolls? We have no idea. But the way that they have done this first episode so far, I thought was pretty solid. I give the episode 7.5 out of 10. It's a fair start, but I'm hoping that with episode 2 and episode 3 that drop, I'll be able to immerse myself more into the entire season. So look forward to my next 2 reviews that I'll be dropping soon. But overall, I did enjoy this episode. To all the fellow Lord of the Rings fans, get in the comment section and let me know what you think. Do you think that I was right or wrong? What grade did you give the episode? Do you think that it was higher than a 7.5, lower than a 7.5? I know there's some people that actually hate this series, but I can't agree with that. I think that this is good TV and looking for more. Go on ahead and jump in the comment section below, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.